Hello and welcome to another episode of
All right, shut up
More.
the
Oh,
podcast.
that's right. Zach is fired up. We have a Zach. This was a big day for you.
It was,
A
it was.
huge day. Zachary Troy entering the market and entering it by kicking down the damn door
Or you
and saying,
know,
"Give me that Gamestop right now,
you
because I'm going
know,
to the fucking moon with it."
I think it's pretty cool, man. What these redditors did to the Wall Street, just fucked over the hedge funds. Kind of stuck a middle finger to them and said, "We're taking this over, Bernie Sanders style with our mittens and all." Um, but I'm happy to support a company like GameStop too, man. A lot of childhood memories there. Going to GameStop in the mall, begging my mom for the latest PS2 game. Trying to get the next Grand Theft Auto, Halo on the Xbox. So a lot of nostalgia, man, and it's you're fucking the man. You got the nostalgia factor. It's a bang bang boop. You're going whoop.
Do you feel like a goddamn rebel shot out of hell?
I felt good, man. When it first happened, I felt good. The numbers were going up before they were skyrocketing, and then I just watched them pummel down today, man. After the man, kind of started to clamp down back on the Wall Street Reddit community. So it was pretty disappointing there, but I think we're gonna have a rally tomorrow, and we're gonna come back strong, stronger than ever. Hold on to the rocket ship. We're going to the moon.
Buckle up. When man first set foot on the moon, it wasn't an easy first step. It was a little bit of a bumpy ride, god damn it. And it's gonna be a bumpy ride till we hit off tomorrow. I think this stock is gonna go high. Did I say moon? Oh, I meant Jupiter.
Oh man, what are your estimates for tomorrow? Where do you think you're going to see it at? We're going to see it up in the 500s, 600s,
End of day 1200.
1200. I don't know if you could take that to heart if we have any investors out there.
Look, I'm not a financial advisor. Okay?
That's good that we disclosed that.
Zach is an economics major.
Clearly,
He
it
studied
didn't help me. I'm following a bunch of degenerates on Reddit to tell them what to do.
I really hope that there's a college senior out there or a master's student who's now been inspired to write his senior thesis on Wall Street Bets subreddit. I would love that.
I mean, I'm sure that paper is being written out there for sure. I mean, I've read countless articles today about it. The New York Times had three separate articles about it. Um, it's a good storyline. These the common folk taking over Wall Street as they've taken over everything else based on the internet. We've had everyone being canceled, this kind of culture, and now I guess you could say Wall Street's canceled.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love that. These hedge funds, they're responsible for the 2008 housing bubble crisis. It's time that we shove their crisis up their a-holes
And
and take this shit to the moon.
yeah, if you read the Reddit, man, there's a lot of stories about that. Like people remembering the '08 crisis, how their family struggled, and it's very sad. It's like that Wall Street can just fuck up people's lives like this and then get off scotch free. It was kind of like a uh, comeuppance for that. They finally got what's coming to them by the people. But I'm sorry to say that I think it's going to be clamped down here soon. The billionaires aren't going to let themselves lose money very long. Unfortunately, they have too much power.
So you're basing that off of these New York Times articles.
Not just the Times, but yeah, multiple other articles saying that it's very risky investments. And eventually it's gonna right itself. People are gonna start selling off because they get scared.
I hope you're dead wrong.
Me too. I hope for my own bank account's sake. I hope I'm dead wrong, Chow. That's just my
Uh,
feeling today. Watching it pummel all day. It wasn't fun, but
it
quite
didn't.
addicting.
It is extremely addicting. So I got in for a few shares at 112, and then I was convinced, and I went all in yesterday. Not all in, but pretty heavily. And yeah, I've been riding a emotional roller coaster. I've been checking the after hours. You think it's volatile
I was
when
just
during
watching it right
trading hours?
now. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Last night, So I'm ahead 5 hours. So everything's worse, right? So I can actually wake up and check the after hours. It was 209. It was 505. It was 250. It was 460. And my heart was just jumping up and out of my chest every time. But man, this is, you know what? If I lose a lot of money, at least I had fun.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what you're kind of paying for, right? It's like the entertainment value. You feel like you're part of a movement here, a little bit of like a second renaissance of Occupy Wall Street almost. But I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money on this deal. I saw some other stories about people losing like their life savings on Robinhood when it first came out. Obviously, that's a big factor in this story. Robinhood stopped the buying of those Reddit stocks, for lack of a better term, today. So I think that drove down the price a lot too. But it's a dangerous game to play in stocks. It's basically gambling. It's like you're betting on sports.
Especially this type of gambling. If you buy an index fund, you see it go up. If you buy like a S&P index fund, averages 10% a year.
Right.
You know,
Like a
over
401k type deal. Yeah.
yeah, that's not really gambling. But this Reddit, I mean, this is gambling. Let's be honest about
Yeah. Buying a
it.
bunch of stocks of one company and hoping it just blows up in one day.
Yeah, yeah. It's but it's been really, really fun. I think it's going to shoot up tomorrow. I don't know about my 1200, but if you compare this to the Volkswagen one, the short squeeze in 2008, the Volkswagen short squeeze, it went up to over 1,000, and their short floats were I think like at 30 or 40%,
Hmm.
and for GameStop, the short float is 140%. So there's more to lose. So like you said, they might just manipulate the market so much that they don't lose this much,
Right.
which is fucked up.
It's so fucked up, man.
Uh, yeah, I really
But
hope
you
that
don't put it
doesn't
past
happen.
them. We've grown up our whole lives seeing market manipulation and financial crises. I mean, we're at what, in our third one now, and it's just no stopping to it. No one regulates it. If they do put regulations on it, it get lifted eventually. They get bailed out. There's no repercussions for these people. Why would they stop manipulating the market so they're making
Yeah,
billions of dollars while the rest of us, are surviving on, paycheck to paycheck?
yeah. And even if we get some money to invest, like the safest thing is 10% a year. We're not like raking in billions like they are off of hardworking people.
Right.
Yeah, not good. Quite ironic that a company called Robinhood is blocking people's. They're supposed to be for the
All
people,
right. That was their
at
whole
least
shtick.
their namesake as such.
They're trying to
Uh,
save their own ass, man, because they're gonna lose a lot of money off this too.
yeah.
I
Well, so yesterday, GameStop and the Reddit stocks did great, and the market as a whole did poorly.
Right.
Today, you saw market did well.
Reddit stocks went down.
Yeah.
Just like they
So,
wanted it to happen. Isn't that a little ironic?
yeah,
Just like they wanted it to happen, it happened today, huh? It seems a little too perfect, if you ask me.
I'm pretty pissed off about it. The Nokia stocks, don't freak out about those. I think you hold on to those; they're gonna come back up. Because Nokia, unlike GameStop, unlike AMC, has like more of a promise. Like I don't know what GameStop's future is.
Yeah,
I
because most
can't.
people buy their games like online now. I know, at least for me personally, I buy all my video games just download it because it's so much easier, and then it's on your system, and you don't have to worry about finding a disc or a game card.
Yeah, I do enjoy the experience of playing a game, going to GameStop, and getting 25 cents for it 2 years later.
That was kind of like the biggest like media thing with GameStop back in the day, is people just make fun of it. Like there's all those memes, like you take like this whole stack of games and like your house, and like, all right, that'll be 250.
Yeah. Yeah. You bring them like an old sports game that comes out every year. They give you 10 cents for it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was
Uh,
um that was kind of like the last time GameStop was relevant, honestly. Um, at least of my memory, but it is fun to go and browse the games. And you can get used games there, which are usually cheaper, which is kind of nice. Honestly, that's probably their biggest thing, is you can get used games for a lot cheaper.
Oh yeah. I used to go there with like, okay, I'll spend $20 and I'll leave there with 3 or 4 games, you know?
Yeah, I mean, a new game these days run you like 60, $70.
Ridiculous. Yeah, ridiculous. Not to go on a tangent, but I recently sold my PlayStation. The
Really?
one
How you
video.
feeling about that decision
I feel very good about it.
right
Uh,
now?
now, now I waste my time doing other things. I
Yeah.
thought I would replace it with a productive hobby, but
See, it never happens that way.
yeah, yeah.
I tried to delete TikTok recently to, I waste a lot of time on there. I just went to Instagram. You know, it's just the flip flop. Like, what do you want to waste your time on?
So you're an avid TikToker.
Watcher, not a producer.
Yeah, yeah, sure. We'll add your link. Don't worry. Um, how would you compare Instagram Reels to TikTok? Is it exactly the same thing?
It's pretty close, but I would say TikTok has a lot better content. I think just because it was first, there's better content creators on their thing. The form is the same, but there's better
Yes.
content on TikTok, I would say.
I have one complaint with Instagram Reels.
Hmm.
Often they take a TikTok and put it in the reel, and you can't see half of the screen.
Yeah, because they're
Very
just
annoying.
stealing TikToks. I mean, that's what Instagram's whole thing is. They just steal whatever they want. The stories, where's that stolen from? Snapchat. You
Yeah.
know,
Guess who's not using Snapchat very much? This guy.
really,
Why? Yeah, because I can check stories on the gram.
exactly.
Yeah.
Snapchat's only good for like if you're sending direct snaps to someone. It's almost like another form of texting.
Yeah. It's kind of like a less invasive form of texting.
You know who uses it a lot? I've denoted are like if you're people trying to hook up with each other, use Snapchat over text. That's what I've heard from people. Like
Yes. Yeah.
if you're trying to slide into someone like like the you up text, it's like a you up Snapchat. It's like a little less, little cheekier, I guess. I don't know. That's what I've
Yeah,
heard.
it's not as direct. It's like a text is like, please answer this soon, you
Right.
know? And Snapchat is like, hey, whenever you get
You can
around
sit there.
to
Yeah.
Snapchat,
It's chill.
even though it's essentially the same thing, but it's yeah. I guess not as urgent, you know? You
Right.
wouldn't Snapchat like, "Hey, can you come outside? I'm here to pick you up." You would call or text, you know?
That's true. Snapchat's kind
So
of like, hey, I'm here when you need it. That's a good
yeah,
point. Doesn't look as
it's good
desperate.
for it's good for like getting to know someone. Like if you're trying to hook up or starting something, you want to send like this goofy Snapchats and
Yeah, you get those
yeah,
faces.
yeah. You had quite a Snapchat face back in the day, Troy.
Yeah, it's perfected over a long time. Someone would say it's my blue steel.
Yeah, it's good. I've been doing the point a lot. I do the little
The
face on the
point,
point.
I see a
Yeah,
lot of people go with the peace sign on top of the head. I've seen that trend recently.
yeah. What I've been doing is like I send people a picture of half of my face,
Uh huh.
and then every time I move farther and farther away from the center until it's just the ear.
I miss when you used to send Snapchats of the toilet. Those were good ones.
Yeah, yeah. You didn't miss it because you didn't reply, but sure.
Anyways, we're gonna off track here. Back to GameStop.
Man, man. I really hope it surges up tomorrow. Uh,
Yeah, for
I
your
mean,
own
you
sake,
can't.
man. You have a big stake in this.
I can't sell now because it's after hours, but I don't know. I mean, look, whenever I lose, like I can make it back. I'm young. I don't have a house payment or anything, so
Yeah, I mean
I'm
the money.
lucky.
Luckily for you, to come back. But I hope some of these people aren't literally losing their houses on this. I've seen stories people getting out mortgages on their home to be in the day trader. You know,
Well,
cashing out all their credit cards. It's an addiction,
I'm
man.
sorry. It is an addiction, but that's a choice they made.
Oh, I
Like
agree.
that's
I mean, it is their choice.
yeah,
It is
come
kind
on.
of crazy how easy it is. Like, I would never think that trading stocks and doing this is this easy. And like, you just watch money flow up and down. It's like mesmerizing.
Yeah, I mean, this feels like this is to maybe because I put more money in than I would like playing roulette or something, but this feels like way more exhilarating than a casino.
Yeah, I think because there's more at stake for sure. And there's at least for this situation, there's like a story behind it that you can feel good about. You feel good
Yeah,
about like, fucking the man, like giving it to the man. and you're making money. It's like it's a double win. Whereas the casino, you kind of feel like a little bit of a degenerate. At least I do, you know.
Yeah. You feel a little sleazy.
Yeah. It's got a sleazy kind of stick to it, but like you're like investing, you know, you're kind of like a top-notch citizen, you know, like, oh, you know, I know what I'm doing. I looked at Bloomberg Terminal this morning. I better watch
I,
out.
I skimmed the
Oh,
headlines.
yeah, I read
Yeah.
a Wall Street Journal article 2 days ago, so I know what I'm into.
Yeah, I've been watching Jim Cramer YouTube videos, so I'm ready. Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's definitely a movement. Like a lot of big people are jumping on board, like Mark Cuban and Elon Musk are all like tweeting about it. I saw the Stool Presidente is up in arms over Robinhood, so I think Robinhood's in big trouble after this. And even Nancy Pelosi said they're gonna look into it. So
Yeah, I think it's fucked up. I mean, it's fucked up what Robin Hood did. Um, I never heard of them to be honest, but I guess they have a big following.
I
I'm
actually
on a TD Ameritrade, and I have to say, I would look for other places because I spent too much money very easily. Like, they have a thing called margin where you essentially borrow money, and because they make it so hard to see like exactly how much you have, I dipped into the margin, and now like I don't want to be in the margin, so I had to take more money from my bank account and put it
put
in
it in there.
TD because I
Right.
spent over. Like, that's a bit annoying.
That is annoying. I
Uh,
would say that's
yeah.
kind of like their thing with online trading. Robinhood's the same way. They make it so easy to upload money, and it's like a video game almost. But this is like real money you're spending. You almost don't think about it.
They were letting me borrow like uh I would say like 80% of my account.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Like it
you
said
shouldn't
like
allow to
this
be
is your
borrow money to do that. I feel like
yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't say like, okay, if you make this purchase, you're going in the margin. It just you made the purchase. And then you check a margin and you're in negative. And
right.
you're like, what the hell? So it's a bit annoying. I didn't like that. But yeah. We'll see. I think tomorrow's the big day. Um, yeah, it's gonna be a wild ride. But you know what? Neil Armstrong, you know, he didn't get to moon his first try. He
That's
didn't do it in one day.
that's true, man. You got to hold on to that ship. We're gonna be watching all day tomorrow. Let's shift gears to the other big conspiracy we've been watching, or at least me and you, the NFL being fixed. And I'll just start off by saying this. I think it's no small thing that Roger Goodell has been at every playoff game of Tom Brady, and he just happens to get to the Super Bowl again. You know, this was my original prediction for the Super Bowl was Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes because that's what they want to see. That's what Goodell wants to see. That's what the NFL wants to see. That's what's good for ratings. And look who it is. It's Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes, young star versus the old star. I mean, it's a little too perfect.
It's too good to be true. When somebody once asked me, "What's your favorite Star Wars line?" And of course, there's so many, right?
Hmm.
Luke, I am your father. Uh, the Force be with you. No, it's Han Solo. It's too quiet. It's too quiet. It's too perfect in the NFL.
And I mean, there's been plenty of history of pro sports being fixed. There's too much money in it for not to be fixed. Similar to the stock market, man. People have too much interest in it. There's been countless players who've come out and say like the NFL is scripted. Former Chicago Bears running back Benny Cunningham admitted the league is scripted. Said he couldn't go into more detail due to a NDA he signed with the NFL. Um, so I mean, I am totally on board that it's scripted. How is Tom Brady this good at 40 some years old? You know, do you remember? Do you know any 43-year olds, or maybe remember when your dad or uncle is 43? There's no way they're throwing touchdown passes like that, man.
You know what? I don't think that's really Tom Brady. I think it's a clone or a duplicate.
I could get on board with that. How is he not aged at all? You know,
He looks great. He looks better
he looks
than he
he's
did in
he's looked
2000.
better from his draft day. Have you seen that draft day photo? He looks like a sleazeball. He's like skin and bones. He looks like an
Pale.
average guy, yeah. And now he's like ripped and just looks perfect. There's some kind
Yeah.
of work going on there. I don't know what it is. Maybe some steroids. Something fishy up with Tom Brady.
I tell you what, more evidence. Let's look at Packers Buccaneers game.
Mhm.
End of the first half, I think Buffalo Wild Wings moment. Kevin King takes a false step, maybe plants his foot in the little gavit in the turf. Touchdown, Scotty Miller before the half.
And
Then you look at the penalty in the fourth quarter. Come on, they didn't call any interference the whole game, and then they call it there to give
oh,
Brady his
that was
first
such
win.
a bad call, man. They hadn't called shit on the Buccaneers all game. If we want to talk about real fixing, like, okay, Tom Brady's a clone. I get behind that. Maybe not our average listener does, but there was plenty of instances of bad calls in that game. They called nothing on the Buccaneers, and it seemed like they called all the tic-tacky fouls on the Packers. You can't tell me that that wasn't on purpose.
No, it was absolutely on purpose. And look, you think Mahomes? You think that was really Patrick Mahomes on the AFC side after he got fucking KO'd a week ago?
Dude, he
I
didn't
tell
even
you
know
what,
where
that
he's
was
at
that
after
was
that.
yeah. I tell you what, they turned the cloning machine on as soon as he got wobbly on the
Goodell
turf.
said, "Fire it up."
Yeah, yeah, man. So definitely, so we got two clones in the playoffs, um, in the Super Bowl, excuse me, and we got refs fixing the game.
I mean, that's the
Um,
most likely areas for the refs to fix the game. We've seen countless, flip floppy calls all playoffs. It just, that's where you can easily fix the game in the NFL. Those pass interference calls are so big, so pertinent to a team winning. I mean, it's the spot of the foul, automatic first down.
yes,
It's like it
yep.
essentially gives you a field goal for free.
You could easily manipulate it this year.
Yeah,
You could just say, let's say, so and so goes in, tests positive for corona, but he doesn't have symptoms.
right.
Oh yeah, you're good.
Put them out there.
Go ahead. See you
Or
Sunday.
how about all the delays they did with the Ravens and the Steelers? Fucked up the Steelers' whole schedule, man. But then they don't do it for
Yeah,
certain other teams. They just pick and choose what team to delay or what team not to because their stars aren't playing. Well, they made the
ridiculous.
Broncos play with like a wide receiver at quarterback
Yeah,
because they didn't
and they'll
care
hit
about the
him.
Broncos. They care about the Ravens. They got a young, dynamic team.
Where's the Drew Lock clone?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cloning machine only works 3 times a year, I guess.
Only for the top players.
Boy, yeah, crazy week in the NFL. Troy, I got a gambling question for you.
Yeah,
So I spent some money last week. I lost it all, pretty much. Um, so I lost about 50 British pounds. Uh, but this site gave me 100
yeah.
because I'm new or whatever. So now I have 150 to play with. I'm not gonna bet on any weird shit like soccer or like Australian lip reading.
Right.
I'm gonna bet on the Super Bowl.
Why wouldn't you? There's so many fun prop bets in the Super Bowl.
Should I just go wild? Because basically, I'm essentially gonna lose. I could either make a lot of money or
Right.
lose a lot of money, depending on what happens tomorrow.
You should do
GameStop.
the craziest parlay you could possibly do.
I like that. I like that.
Like you got to pick Gatorade color, you got to pick who scores first, you got to pick,
Hmm.
touchdown, halftime performance. I remember last year there was some butt cleavage. There's got to be something with the weekend, like does he come out with coke on his face or something like that? Um,
Last year I got totally screwed at the butt cleavage.
yeah,
Like I won the bet and they didn't give me the money.
they
I
said there
I
was
mean
no
that was
butt cleavage,
clear.
but there was, right?
Yes, exactly. It was total BS.
Who
Um,
denotes that? I mean, who gets to pick? That's kind of like an arbitrary thing, really. Like what it is defined as butt cleavage.
I would say the crack. If you see a crack,
Right.
crack is whack.
Or are they talking about opposite butt cleavage, like the the bottom part of the butt coming out?
Like the glutes, the booty,
Yeah,
like a
like a
high
high, like a wedgie, you
waist
got a really
thing.
high wedgie.
Uh, so well, that's tough because you could see some outer cheek pretty easily. If it was like a V.
Right.
Uh,
Who picks these things? They're like really
well,
analyzing in there.
I was using a Angolan website, so it's pretty
You probably
arbitrary. Yeah,
got your identity stolen.
yeah, probably. Uh, yeah. So yeah, NFL's fixed. Wall Street is fixed. Let's all move to freaking New
You
Zealand.
know what we need? Not Bernie to be president, but I think Bernie needs to be commissioner of the NFL. I think we'll have a lot more egalitarian NFL if Bernie comes on board.
Yeah, but he has to always wear mittens.
There's so much wrong in the NFL, man. You got this like fixing that we're talking about that's obviously true, but then there's all these like other things that Seahawks offensive lineman had that horrible case with
Oh my gosh.
his girlfriend, and then the Seahawks don't even say anything about it. The NFL doesn't care. I mean, if he probably doesn't go to jail, he'll probably be on a team.
The Seahawks put out a statement the last time I don't know how what their timing was, but the last thing I checked is they did put out a statement.
I mean, it's just it seems like there's no consistency there. Like
No,
AB, look at
there
Antonio
isn't.
Brown. He's on a team after all his
Yeah,
allegations. Big Ben. I mean, all back in the day, but still, he's been the quarterback
to
for like
me,
30 years now.
Brown is the worst. How does this like? I just feel like, yeah, okay, you people fuck up. You should get a second chance. But like, when did he show like remorse or
Never.
accountability?
He didn't give a shit. And look what team he's on. Funny that is. He's playing with Brady. Brady got what he wanted again.
Fucking fixed. Do you think it was the Antonio Brown clone that had was not throwing dildos at people or raping women?
I could get that. I could get behind that. That it's a clone out there because he
Uh,
seems very quiet this year, man. I don't know if Brady got to him, injected him with his little serum that he uses, but
Dude, I would if I was a GM, I would be like, okay, Antonio Brown, we're gonna pay you this big contract, but you have to take this fucking like these three different pills that make you not fucking crazy. Um,
get him on some
yeah,
prescriptions, huh?
yeah. I mean, that's totally not legal, but
No, not at all. I mean, I don't
I
think
mean,
even give the guy a chance. Like, yeah, he's a pretty good receiver, but there's plenty of other talent out there. You know what I mean? Like, I think you ban him from the league. You and this same with this Seattle tackle. I don't know his name, but ban him from the league.
Chad,
Anything that ridiculous, like that obscene and violent, they shouldn't have to be in the league. You know?
yeah.
They said he
So
almost killed his girlfriend.
his name is Chad Wheeler, and he did get. So let's give the Seahawks a little credit. I think I don't know what the timing was, so don't like I'm not defending them, but they did cut him, and they put out a statement that said, "We feel really bad for the victim, and we hope that he gets help."
Yeah, I did
So
I did
they
see
did
that.
sort of cover themselves with that, you know.
Right.
I
I
don't
did.
know if they cut him or if he was a free agent. I don't know the answer, but the statement said Chad Wheeler is a free agent and has no association with the Seahawks at this time.
See, I think that was where people took problem with that. Like they just kind of covered themselves and like,
Ah,
didn't denounce it and things like that. So I think that was kind of where the criticism came from because the NFL has a horrible, horrible history with, domestic violence and they kind of just cover it up every time and worry more about profits rather than, you know, those more kind of moral things.
yeah. I mean, you've seen basically. I think it's not as bad if you're a quarterback because quarterback everything is amplified by 1 million.
Right.
But if you're a D lineman, O lineman, linebacker, even wide receiver, or what's the dude, Kareem Hunt, the running
Yeah.
back, like all these people have really shady things. Yeah, man. I don't know. It's tough, like because you want to have this idea of second chances, but the Antonio Brown situation, like, how does he get a second chance? Like he never said like, and he was on Twitter saying wild stuff, and now he's playing in the fucking Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl. He might get a Super Bowl ring,
Where's
man. You know?
where's the fucking justice in this world?
There is no
None.
justice, man. It's these big ass corporations and run it. These big hedge funds can run Wall Street and manipulate any way they want. Same with the NFL.
Yeah,
They can manipulate whatever they want, whatever wind flows, and there's no one to stop them.
yeah. So if you're fucking pissed off like us, go in your fucking Ameritrade account, wait for a little bit of a dip, and buy some fucking GameStop right now so we can take it to the fucking moon.
And we're gonna work on more uncovering this cloning theory we have about Brady. And we're definitely gonna follow up on that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I think that was a good episode for today. So just to recap, buy fucking GameStop. Let's get rich. Okay. Hey guys, thanks for listening to another episode of All Right, Shut Up. Make sure to go ahead and leave us a review, help us grow the podcast.
All right, shut up. Catch us next week on all your favorite podcast sites.